What instrument measures the elevation of mountains? Which celestial body in the solar system emits sunlight? Who do you visit if you have a toothache? In which of the following activities do you spend a longer time, eating, drinking, or sleeping? What is the opposite of the word affluence?
What do we measure in Celsius? What is the common term for materials such as gold, silver, and copper? What is the term for a decrease in the price of a product or service?
What do you call a notice of death in a newspaper?
What device is used to measure the height of mountains? What do we call a group of sheep or birds?
What do we call a horse-like animal with a single horn on the head?
What term describes the curved section of a road or river?
What punctuation mark is typically placed at the conclusion of a sentence?
How do you describe the act of playing a musical instrument skillfully?
What do we call the act of consuming food or drink?
What term describes the process of moving from one place to another, especially by foot?
What term denotes the permanent residence of an individual? How many sides does an octagon possess? In an election, what do individuals typically contribute?
What is the fundamental unit of life that contains genetic material and carries out cellular functions?
A person who speaks or behaves as if they know everything.
Where can you borrow books?
How would you describe the arrangement of musical notes in a song?
How do we refer to a span of 100 years? What is the name of the joint that connects the foot to the leg?
In which compass direction does the sun rise from?
In which room do scientists typically conduct experiments?
What do we call a person who is single?
What do we call a young dog?
What is the liquid called that falls from the sky during rain? What is the freezing point of water in degrees Celsius?
What is the formal union between two people called?
Which month comes immediately after January? Where are products kept before they are sold?
If Monday is the first day of the week, what is the fourth day?
Where does a pilot sit in an airplane? Which part of our body is related to the word optical? What do we call someone who studies languages?
What do we call a person who can speak several languages? What do we call the ship that runs underwater?
What do you call the horror of being trapped in a closed space? What do you use to test the body temperature?
What is the device used to take photographs? What do you call a person who repairs vehicles?
What is the word for a book of maps?
What do you call a person who plays the piano?
What is the term for a doctor who performs operations?
What do you call a very large ocean wave caused by an underwater earthquake?
What do you call a scientist who studies rocks?